All right, so Hulk issue number 9. You guys are probably wondering why the hell am I reviewing this? It's just because someone asked me to. Someone requested that I review a Hulk series, and I don't get that many requests for comics, so I was like, all right, sure. I mean, I try to tend to stay away from Marvel issues that I know are going to be terrible, like American Chavez, Captain Marvel, Squirrel Girl, Wasp, Black Panther and the Crew. Like series that I know are terrible, I tend to stay away from because I don't want this to turn into a channel where I basically just pick up crappy Marvel comics and rag about them. I mean, if you guys actually want to see that, I can do that, but it'll be like basically maybe like one crappy comic every week or two. Because, like I said, I want this to be more positive. I don't want this to be like me just hating on comics because that wasn't the whole purpose of me getting into this in the first place. It was the complete opposite. But yeah, so someone requested that I review Hulk, so here I am. I don't know if I'm going to show actual panels or if I'm going to show like MS Paint. I will be showing the cover because I mean that's promotional material, so they can't flag me for that. But I don't know. I don't trust Marvel to not flag me for showing like 2 panels. Like they might even pull that on me. So who knows? I might just stick with the MS Paint. So I will say this: I came in with the low expectations, and I was completely surprised. This issue is amazing. It's great. The artwork is awesome. The writing is fantastic. Like you really get good characterizations from Jen. I'm intrigued with the story, and I really want to see where it goes. The action scenes are amazing. Uh, I'm joking. I'm fucking with you. This issue is terrible. Well, actually, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's very subpar. Like, no one had requested me to do a review on this. I would not be forking up money for it. But I will say this on the plus side. This issue is actually an improvement over the previous issues, especially the artwork. Like, no lie, the artwork is actually not too bad. Well, let me change that. The artwork for the first half is actually not too bad. The artwork for the second half sucks. Before we get to that, basically the artwork in the previous issues were terrible. I don't know who the artist was, but they relied heavily on Google Sketch. Like it was just like nothing but 3D artwork. The only thing that wasn't 3D artwork was the characters. So it seemed really weird. Like the characters really popped out. Anyone who's like familiar with 2D animation, there's this thing where basically someone will draw like the background, and then for the characters they would draw cells of the characters, and then they would superimpose the cells onto the background. So that's why like the background in old Looney Tune cartoons were very detailed, but the characters themselves were kind of cartoony. And that's why like when you see like a character interacting with the background, you can tell what they were going to do. Like if the character was going to pick up an item in the background, you can tell what item they were going to pick up because the shading and the coloring didn't match the rest of the background. It's because they were doing cells. I felt like that's what the artist was doing in the previous issues. Basically, they went to Google Sketch, found a background that they needed, and then they just superimposed the characters onto it, and it looked really terrible. Like any character that was like sitting down or laying in bed, it felt like they were floating. Like there was no weight behind anything they were doing because they were superimposed. So for this issue, they actually got 2 separate artists. A Julian Lopez and Francesco Gaston. And I don't know who did what, but whoever did the first half was really good. Whoever did the second half was a terrible decision to assign them to this comic. Not because their artwork or their style was bad, even though I'm not too big a fan of it, but just because it didn't fit this issue. Like this issue was kind of going the dramatic, serious route. Like there's not that much comedy in this issue. In fact, there's not any comedy in this issue. This issue is just pretty like the whole tone is supposed to be serious. And whoever did the second half of the artwork has a very cartoony style with bright colors. So it was really distracting. One minute I'm looking at like serious artwork, and the next it's like I'm looking at a cartoon. Not to mention the fact that the characters didn't look anything similar to each other. Like it took me a while to figure out that that this one character was Jen. Like the first half of the issue, I'm like, okay, so this is Jen, blah 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 blah, and then she like turns into Hulk, and then she comes out of like this building after transforming into Hulk, and it took me a while for me to be like, oh right, that's Jen. Okay, I mean the only clue was that her clothes were kind of torn from transforming, but she looked nothing like Jen in the previous page. So it was very distracting. So yeah, the story so far. Oh, the story. So, Jen is a completely different Jen than the one I remember as a kid. Um, like the one I remember as a kid was a lot more, I don't want to say happy-go-lucky, but she was a lot more cool and fun going with her powers. Like she had no problem keeping her powers under control, and she didn't treat it like a curse like Bruce Banner did. She was kind of like Amadeus Bro, only better. I can't stand that character. I can't stand Amadeus Bro. She was a lot more like, fun going. She didn't see her powers as a curse, but now she is basically a Bruce Banner clone. I don't know why. I mean, maybe there's some kind of excuse, but I don't feel like reading the previous issues to find out. I did kind of skim through them at the local comic book store just so I can kind of get an idea what's going on. So one thing I did notice was that there is no action whatsoever for most of these issues. Like Jen will literally not transform into the Hulk in like the first 6 issues of this series. And then when she does, it's very brief, not that much action, and then she goes back to being Jen for like the next few issues, and there's like no fighting. And even though she transforms into Hulk in this issue, once again, she's not transforming to fight anyone. She's just transforming to scare people. For a Hulk series, there's not very much Hulkiness going on. And yeah, I mean, it's a superhero issue with superheroes not doing superhero-y things, which is a problem that a lot of Marvel comics seem to have. It's very bad. I'm not a fan of this. So the story is that Jen is basically trying to relax. She's like battling her inner Hulk, and she has this favorite cooking show with this host named Oliver. And God, this is so bad. So the producers of Oliver's show, who of course happen to be 2 white guys because the villains always happen to be white, come up with this ingenious plan where they get their hands on this Hulk serum, which is kind of funny because I thought like finding this Hulk serum was kind of hard to do. Otherwise, you would think there'd be a bunch of Hulks running around. But no, I mean, they literally went to like a drug dealer like in the back alley and got some Hulk juice. And their plan was that they were going to slip the Hulk juice into Oliver's food so that he would transform into the Hulk live. And this incident would make their YouTube video go viral, and they'll be raking in all that YouTube money. So yeah, that's the plan. Their plan was to turn their coworker into the Hulk live on camera, so that a lot of people will come to their YouTube video, and then they will rake in all that money from their YouTube video blowing up in terms of view count. I don't think they thought this plan through because YouTube pays absolute shit in terms of monetization, especially recently. I think it would have been a better idea if, maybe one of you guys took the Hulk juice yourself, especially since you were told that the Hulk, turning into the Hulk wouldn't last for too long. Maybe take it yourself, go rob a bank, and you would get infinitely more money that way. Basically, this is a stupid plan. This is a stupid story. I don't know how this got approved for this series, but it did. This is like one of the dumbest arcs I've ever read. But yeah, so Oliver takes the Hulk juice. He hulks out. He goes crazy, and he's wandering the streets now. Meanwhile, Steve and Ray, who are the producers, the evil white guys, are in hiding. While Oliver's boyfriend, because, all the good guys, if you're a male and you're good, then you have to be gay. So Oliver's boyfriend, Warren, is like desperately trying to find him and get in contact with him. And Jen is trying to help him as well. So yeah, let's just get on with this. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be showing the actual panels or doing MS Paint. Usually I do recordings for the audio first, and then I pick out panels later. So I don't know, because I'm kind of scared that if this is a negative review, which it's gonna be, that Marvel's just gonna try to flag me again. So I might just do MS Paint so that I can get around that. But I guess you guys will find out. I will be showing the cover, obviously, because that's a promotional work, so they can't copyright strike me on that. And what a cover it is. We get another posing in front of the camera. At least this time they, did some graffiti artwork on their faces, but still, I hate this. I hate this so much. Marvel needs to knock it off with the fucking camera poses for their covers. Marvel's covers in general have been pretty shitty. Like you get the camera poses, you get the covers that have absolutely nothing to do with the issues. Like you had that Jim Lee variant, which is cool, except for the fact that the covers that they chose have nothing to do with the issue. For example, they had Domino on the cover of an issue that didn't have Domino. So it's kind of like if you're gonna do a varying Jim Lee cover, at least make sure that like one of the characters that you're doing the cover for is like in the issue. So for example, if you're gonna do a Domino variant cover, then have Domino be in the issue. Now they have that Marvel versus Capcom. Once again, they have characters on the cover that are not in the issue whatsoever. But yeah, in terms of the Marvel versus Capcom, that video game looks so shit. It's amazing how much they ruined that series. But yeah, these camera posing covers need to stop. So we start off and we got Warren and he's looking at videos of Oliver. And then we have Oliver as the Hulk. So he kind of looks more like Swamp Thing. Or I guess this is actually Marvel. I guess Man-Thing would be a better comparison. But he looks more like Man-Thing than a Hulk. So we got these two millennial kids walking by in their fucking millennial speak. Here's the actual dialogue. I'm gonna read this out to you. This is verbatim. I don't even know if I'm into superheroes anymore. I know, it's like, I have enough drama of my own, thank you. Yeah, it's like, like, spare me. It's like people are obsessed with, like, oh, what's Iron Man doing, or whatever. Oh yeah, but I love Iron Man. Oh yeah, me too. Why am I reading this? So the kids hear something, and they go and investigate, and they see Oliver Hulk, and they freak out, and then he gets upset. And then back with Warren, there's a knock on the door, and Jen is there, and Warren's like, "Oh my God, you're Jen Walters!" Yeah. And she's like, "Yes, and this is Bradley. You called?" So why is he so surprised that Jen is at his door if he called Jen in the first place? I don't know. What the fuck? So yeah, here's Bradley, who is Jen's gay friend. Because like I said earlier, if you're a good guy and you're a male, then you're gay. Because I guess, nice straight men aren't allowed in Marvel Comics anymore. So yeah, basically they ask Warren, have you been able to reach Oliver? And he's like, no, I keep trying. And Jen informs him that he attacked a drug dealer. And Warren's upset. And I thought this part was kind of funny. So Jen says, which leads me to think he's been in touch with the two men who drugged him in the first place. And Warren says, Ray and Steve. And then Bradley yells out, Ray and Steve! Like, no joke. Bradley just repeats what Warren said, but there's an exclamation point. So he's like yelling this out. So he's like, he's looking for the two men who drugged him in the first place. Oh, Ray and Steve. And then Bradley just out of nowhere, Ray and Steve! It's like, Bradley, chill, relax, man. You don't gotta be yelling at everything. So Jen goes out to go track down Ray and Steve. Meanwhile, Bradley and Warren decide to go see if they can track down Oliver. And then at the crime scene with the drug dealers, we have Hellcat talking to Jen and just kind of informing her about the crime scene, how it's really torn up and all that stuff. And we get more of this crappy dialogue. Hellcat's like, well, call me if you need me to zoom in to the rescue. Huh, you zoom now? You're zooming? When necessary for you, I zoom. Come on, man. And then they're like, I got it. Okay, TTYL. TTYL, talk to you later. No one talks like that. At least no adults do. Especially like these, like, Jen and Hellcat have got to be like in their late 20s or early 30s, right? They're not going to be talking in like, OMG, like, LOL. Why? Why are you doing this millennial text speak? It's annoying. At least, I'll give them credit with this. At least Jen says, I'm not saying that TTY thing later. So then we cut to a gas station bathroom where Oliver has these pills and he's like, please let this work. And he takes them. And then... like, he takes them, and then we get this weird panel. Should be showing this panel. We get this weird panel where I don't know what's going on. It's almost like he takes it and he farts. I mean, obviously it's like gas coming out of the pills, but it just seems like a really weird panel to use to show like these pills taking effect. I don't know. It just kind of looks like Oliver just like let one go or something. So then we cut to this apartment where Ray and Steve, are two evil white guys, are booking flights to Mexico. And Ray starts freaking out, like he's worried that Oliver is going to come and kill them. And Steve's kind of telling him to shut up. And then they're about to go to sleep when they hear a creak. And here comes cartoony She-Hulk. Yeah. This is where like the art style changed, and I was like completely taken out of the experience for a moment. Because the previous, like I said, the previous style was actually not too bad. It was actually, I'll give them props on it. I don't know, maybe people who are actually artists might not care for it, but to me, I actually thought the artwork was pretty decent. But here we get like cartoony She-Hulk. And again, it's not that the artwork is terrible for this. It's just that it doesn't fit the mood whatsoever. Like the colors are too bright. It's too cartoony. It's almost like Marvel meets Disney style. It just doesn't fit the tone of this issue. And she basically like threatens them about what they did to Oliver. And then we get this like weird panel where Jen puts her face up to, is it Steve? I don't even remember their names anymore. She puts her face up to one of the evil white guys, and at first I thought maybe she was headbutting him, except he doesn't like show any pain, and there's no like action for that. So it looks like she basically is about to kiss him, and then she just screams. Like it's a really weird panel. Like I think it's supposed to be threatening, but you look at the guy's face, and he's just kind of like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like have a Tic Tac or something. Your breath's kind of smelly. Plus, like his face just looks weird. It looks like he got fat all of a sudden. But yeah, that was just like a really weird panel to me. She smashes their equipment and tells them to take down the website. And I'm just kind of thinking, like, don't you mean take down the video? Because this was on YouTube. Like, I don't think they have the power to take down YouTube. I mean, they can take down the channel if you want, though. So yeah, I guess they're gonna take down the channel, and well, there goes all their $1 million worth of YouTube money. Like when they mentioned earlier, they got like a couple thousand views. They got like a couple 100,000 views or so. That's like maybe like $30. So their huge plan that would require them to move to Mexico to run from the law netted them like $30-40, maybe $50 if they're lucky. If they had like a decent amount of comments. Oh, this plan was so stupid. Then we cut back to Bradley and Warren, who receive a phone call from Oliver. And Oliver is excited. He's like, "It's working. My face is coming back, Warren." And then all of a sudden his like teeth start falling out. And he's like, bubbles start growing on his skin. And he freaks out. And then Warren and Bradley pick up Jen. And yeah, Jen looks really weird. Like she looks completely different than she did in the previous pages. Like I saw this and I was like, is this another character? No, because her clothes are kind of ripped up. So I'm assuming this is Jen after she transformed. But it took me a while to connect the dots. Maybe I'm just slow, but it's because Jen looks completely different than she did in the previous pages. So yeah, Warren kind of tells her he took some pills and said he's fine, but then his voice changed. And Jen's like, "What pills? Another drug? Crap." Basically tells Warren, we need to find him. Keep calling him. And then Warren calls, and the bathroom that Oliver was in is empty, and his phone was left behind. And then we see, I guess, a couple filling up gas when they hear a noise, and it's Oliver transformed, and he looks like the offspring between Man-Thing and Hulk. And he smashes their car, and that's how the issue ends. And then we get the cover for the next issue, which is Jen eating a donut. No lie, that's the cover. Jen eating a donut. Because that makes me want to buy that issue so much. That really intrigues me, because now I'm wondering, where did she get that donut? Did she get that donut from Dunkin' Donuts? Did she get it from Krispy Kreme? Why did she choose sprinkles? Damn it, now I gotta know. I gotta find out. This is puzzling. I'm perplexed. I gotta find out why she decided to choose a pink donut with sprinkles, and where she got that donut, and why is she eating that donut, and why is she such a messy eater. I mean, she's got like frosting and sprinkles on her nose. How do you get frosting and sprinkles on your nose from a donut? I don't know, but maybe this issue will tell me. I gotta find out. So yeah, that's Hulk number 9. Meh. I will say this. It was an improvement. It was a huge improvement over the previous issues. Is it worth the money? No. I wouldn't pay for this if I didn't have to. Like, if you guys didn't request for this. But there you go. Issue number 9. So what do you guys think? Do you guys want me to do more of these kind of comics? Because like I said, I'll do them. I'm not going to be spamming my channel with them. But I can do like one crappy Marvel comic every week or two. I don't know. I kind of feel like you guys probably would like that a lot more than me actually reviewing comics that I enjoy. Because I notice that people tend to hate watch videos. I mean, you guys, I'd probably end up getting more views that way because people tend to love hate watching videos on YouTube. Like, I think you guys probably like watching me talk about stuff that I hate more than I do talk about stuff that I like. But yeah, I mean, my channel is not going to go that route. I'm not going to turn into one of those where all I read is crappy Marvel comics. But I have no problem doing a video every week or two if you guys want. So yeah, go ahead, just request anything you want me to read, and I'll go check it out. If you guys want me to if you guys want me to read American Chavez, please say no. I'll do it. Do you guys want me to read Beautiful Squirrel Girl, which came out this week as well? I'll do that. Yeah, request anything and I will read it. But like I said, like that will be like a special thing. I'll do that maybe like once a week, once every 2 weeks. It's not something that I'm going to be spamming on this channel, because this channel is going to be more positive in terms of comic books. That's why I try to stay away from all the, I guess, JW news. That's why I didn't talk about the whole milkshake thing. There are other channels out there that do a way better job at that stuff, like Douglas Ernst, I Love Comics, Captain Cummings, Diversity in Comics. Those guys are really good at that kind of on those kind of topics. So yeah, like I don't wanna I don't wanna drown myself in negativity. But doing a comic like this every once in a while, I guess, wouldn't be too bad. I mean, because I'm not gonna be doing it constantly, it's kind of like watching a bad film, knowing that it's bad, and just taking some humor out of it. Because I feel like that's how it started with some YouTubers. Like, they would read a couple of shitty issues and they were having fun with it. But then once they started focusing on nothing but shitty issues, it felt like the fun got drained out of them, and I don't want that to happen to me. So most of my videos are gonna be positive, but I can do a shitty comic. It doesn't have to be just Marvel. It can be any comic you guys want. I can do one of those like once every week or two. So yeah, I'm starting to ramble now, so I'm gonna end this video here. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Later.